Why did the young sidekick Airwave betray the heroes of the Justice League to the forces of Inferno and Gorilla Grodd? Well, let's hop into the pages of Justice League Unlimited issue number 2 and find out together, shall we? As we continue the crossover events of We Are Yesterday. So then, as we check out this brand new issue, we are treated to a flashback with Gorilla Grodd, who at the end of the previous issue was not only revealed to be the mastermind of Inferno, but also the recipient of Martian Manhunter's missing powers. It seems that Grodd was just hanging out in Gorilla City Prison one day, when all of a sudden his already amazing psychic abilities ended up getting way more powerful. As well as a bunch of other abilities he's still slowly but surely trying to unravel using his force of mind. It was on that day Gorilla Grodd started planning his greatest supervillainous scheme to date, one that would end up crossing all of time and space. You see, once Grodd escaped, he came to the realization that the Justice League was a lot bigger and stronger than it had ever been before. Truly, they had become unlimited, and if he ever hoped to enact his revenge on the superhero community, he too would need to grow to this challenge. The only problem is reuniting the Legion of Doom was out of the question, as many members had either gone missing, gone over to the good side, or weren't nearly as powerful as they were when the group originally formed. It was because of that Grodd ended up having one hell of an epiphany. What if he could reach back in time and bring forward the original Legion of Doom when they were at their prime, when they were their youngest and hungriest and evilest? Surely even then a newly unlimited Justice League would not be able to stand against this sort of force. To pull this caper off though, Grodd would end up needing a man on the inside. And oh boy, did he end up finding one in the form of Airwave, and let's face it, he was perfectly primed to be manipulated. The poor kid found himself in a future he didn't understand, with pretty much everyone he ever knew, including his own mentor, either dead or absolutely written out of continuity by crises. Grodd went to work on turning Airwave to his side not long after Superman gave him his brand new League card. Remember, Airwave was actually something of a hero's hero after he helped the Justice League take down Amanda Waller during the events of Absolute Power, yet another reason no one ever suspected him to be a mole for the villains. Using his newfound psychic power, courtesy of Martian Manhunter, Gorilla Grodd ended up creating a false scenario where an Airwave was called to a hostage situation aboard the space station. Airwave fought valiantly to save these fake hostages, but one by one they were all executed by a fake death bolt. Airwave called out to the League for help, but even though they themselves are also operating in space, they never came. The only person who answered his calls was, you guessed it, Gorilla Grodd. Grodd saved Airwave from this illusion and then spun him a whole tale about how the heroes that he remembered from the Golden Age are a far cry from the heroes of today, that they are selfish and corrupt and part of a deep state conspiracy to run the world from behind the scenes, and that only people like Gorilla Grodd and Amanda Waller have been brave enough to stand up to superhero aggression. Grodd even goes a little further by recoloring some events that actually did happen in DC comic history: Wonder Woman breaking necks, Aquaman maybe killing Black Manta's father, etc, etc. Now, to Airwave's credit, he's a smart kid with a strong will, one that is not so easily broken by Grodd, meaning that the Gorilla Mastermind really has to turn up the volume to try and get the kid to be his unwitting stooge, and he does this by saying, "Oh, you didn't know, did you? I bet they didn't tell you in the League. They didn't want to scare you, but you're dying, Airwave. You see, you were held in suspended animation for so long outside of time that your tachyons are poisoning you now. I'm smart enough to save you, but I would need your help." And believe it or not, this turns out to be exactly what Gorilla Grodd needed to turn Airwave and help him along to the next part of this evil scheme. One that, very interestingly enough, ends up actually referencing the events going on Absolute Earth and its creation under Darkseid. You see, apparently when he supposedly died while on the Watchtower, the leftover residual energy ended up creating tachyon portals, and because Airwave can literally turn himself and others into airwaves, Grodd used these portals to reach back in time and send a message to his younger self and the rest of the Legion of Doom. From there, they went to work building their own time machines in secret to travel to the present. Meanwhile, the Justice League was too busy battling the forces of Inferno to realize what was going on right under their nose. And why, yes, Grodd says that he actively made sure that Inferno's mission stayed statement was vague as hell, just so that the heroes would waste even more time trying to crack the code, but now the cat is out of the bag, or gorilla I should say. And poor Airwave can see that he's been had. Again, he might be a kid from the Golden Age, but even he knows the Joker and Bizarro are villains not to be trusted. He also asks Grodd if it was true that he was dying, only for the Great Ape to return with probably one of the coldest clapbacks ever. Oh, I didn't say you weren't dying. Before he eventually pulls out a laser pistol and disintegrates the poor kid for his trouble. Jesus Christ, that is a dark turn I did not see coming. Now, before poor Airwave ends up eating it, the Justice League is able to zero in on his position. They mount a full attack on what they only believe to be Inferno HQ, meaning that the second they get in there, they are as shocked as anyone else to come face to face with a younger version of the Legion of Doom, who have now officially been waiting and planning for literal years to spring this trap, which is exactly what they do, and the League's fate is left open-ended as the comic comes to a close. And so that was Justice League Unlimited issue number 6, everybody, and once again, Mark Waid with this brand new story, We Are Yesterday, does a great job embodying everything I love about comic books. I mean, this one really has it all. Golden Age sidekicks, psychic gorillas, time travel. It's all just so wonderfully colorful and insane and off the wall, and in Waid's hands, it actually ends up having a lot more weight than you might think narratively. They really do make you feel bad for poor Airwave. The kid really never had a chance from the get-go, did he? And it makes you hate Grodd that much more as a villain, and you really want to see him get his comeuppance. I'm also really excited and really invested in the idea of a much larger, more well-directed Justice League doing battle with a younger and hungrier version of the Legion of Doom. Will it actually end up making that much of a difference? Hell, if the heroes end up getting desperate enough, what's actually stopping them from reaching out to good guy Sinestro and good guy Black Manta? After all, who would know how to beat their younger counterparts better than their older counterparts, right? I mean, they're older and wiser. I also truly appreciate that what Darkseid did in kickstarting the Absolute Universe is not only still important, but still actively gets referenced. Really helps sell it as the important cosmic shift in the DC Universe that it really actually is. Overall, I would give this one another very positive 8.5 out of 10, and I can't wait to see where the story goes next. Hey there everyone, it's your pal Cape Joel again, and if you're seeing my face right now, that means you watched to the end of the video, and I'll always be grateful for that. Retention helps in this crazy YouTube game, and so does becoming a patron. If you head on down to the description, you can find a link to my Patreon page. Recently just redid all the tiers, a lot of cool stuff offering up there, exclusive commentaries, exclusive polls, behind the scenes concept art for Capes and Quest. That's the brand new D&D show I've started soon. Never been a better time to become a patron. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month and help the channel grow and, help me continue to deliver content like what you just saw. So I want to thank you all, and I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.